Welcome to the 13 Ghosts edition of Pop Quiz Hotshot. When Cyrus Kriticos, a very rich collector of unique things, dies, he leaves his house, fortune, and his prized collection of ghosts to his nephew. Cut to 20 years ago, 8th grader Josh watches 13 Ghosts for the first time at a party. I remember being very intimidated of this movie when I was 13 because the people at the party were like, oh, this movie's so scary. And I just remember just being like so on edge. And I would consider 13 Ghosts to be what I would call a gateway horror movie. What I mean by that is it's perfect when you're 13. 20 years
Alright.
later, not so much. It's this movie's very fun to look at. Visually, as
Oh, yeah.
far as the design of the ghosts, great. CGI wise, not so much. It's early 2000s, it's a little wonky. What I really like about this movie is the family dynamic. I think Tony Shalhoub is great as the dad. You know, he's not the sexy Hollywood actor that a lot of these movies would have. It's not like having Ryan Reynolds of like the Amityville Horror remake. It's Tony Shalhoub. He's perfect. I think that the family they make sense together. And we also have the crazy uncle, which is he's fun. Uh, what one of the
Yeah.
things that probably just does not it falls apart at the end. This movie has a lot of needless exposition. It gets a little silly. Some of the acting gets a little wonky at the end as well, especially with the uncle. It gets a little
Yeah.
goofy. But overall, this movie is it's fun to look at and not much more.
Well, let's say like this was my first time watching this, and I I expected like a bunch of ghosts going ham on everything, and when it was more like they're contained and they're like just there, just taunting you kind of thing, but they're not actually doing anything until like later in the movie, right? But once they did come out like one by one, I'm starting to like it, like they're going like just pretty much just doing what they do from their specific ghost characters, like the woman in the box head,
The
the
jackal,
jack,
the jackal, yeah.
like,
That actually is a guy. I found out it's a
oh,
guy from that behind the scenes featurette I sent to you. I thought it
I
was a
forgot.
girl too. It's actually a guy who was sent to an insane asylum. I thought it was a girl too, but it's actually a man.
Oh,
Jackal is a
okay.
man.
Okay. Well, the way the jackal is moving all around, so crazy, looking in the eyes, like, okay, that's actually pretty cool. Especially when the jackal puts her up in the air, like,
Hmm.
okay. Um,
I gotta
but
ask
I
Chris. I gotta ask, who's your favorite ghost?
Oh, come on, that's like a setup question.
Because we all know Chris's favorite ghost is the angry princess. I wonder
Okay.
why. I wonder why. You
Sure.
see why this movie would be very appealing to 13-year-olds, though?
Just from that ghost alone, yes. And uh the I the ghost with the nails in him,
Hmm.
like, I don't know why that gave me like a Hellraiser vibe. I
Mm.
don't know why, but it did. And uh the aesthetic and the art, the set design alone with the house was awesome. Like the gold with the bronze and the glass everywhere. Like Bobby said in the movie, it's very futuristic. And overall, I say it's a good movie to watch like during spooky season. You know, yes, I agree with the acting. Felt it was hit and miss. I can't stop seeing him as Shaggy. So
Oh,
it was
Matthew Lillard, yeah.
yeah, it was hard to see him not as Shaggy or from Scream. Yeah, it was like, okay. And but I did like the fact that his like sixth sense thing was interesting. Everything slightly touching, like, you know. But yeah, like, besides the acting, I just loved the makeup and the set design mostly.
That's what this movie is. It's a lot of looks. It's a lot of. I mean, you give this movie credit for what it is. It's based on a William Castle movie from like the 50s or 60s. And those movies were gimmick movies, the ones where they buzzer you in the seat and stuff like that. And I think in the original movie, you're supposed to put on like 3D glasses or something to see the ghosts. So I think that's why this had the story of them putting on the glasses, which is fun. No, it's
Uh,
fun. Overall, 13 Ghosts, I think Chris would agree, is a fun movie.
yes, it's a fun movie.
All right. This is how the game works. Chris and I are going to go back and forth asking the multiple choice questions that we each came up with. Whoever has the most points at the end does not become a ghost in the house, does not become the 14th ghost.
14th.
All right, Chris. Well, you are the home team this week, so you get to go first.
I'll start this off easy. Where is the house located? Is it A, Willow Canyon, B, Willow Grove, C, Willow Woodland, D, Willow Grave?
B, Willow Grove.
Correct. I told you I would start off easy.
I thought you were going to say easy, like, where is it? In the city? In the woods?
Yeah, I had to rephrase the question a little bit.
All right. Question for Chris. This one may be a little trickier. In the beginning, how many victims was Dennis told are at the junkyard when they are trying to catch that ghost? How many victims was he told were at the junkyard? Was it A, 7, B, 8, C, 9, or D, 10?
9.
9 is correct.
Thing is that there's actually 40 victims here.
Exactly. All right, after one round, Chris and I are tied 1-1. Moving on to round 2.
Okay. All right. Here's a fun one. What does Bobby call his sister at breakfast? Is it A, bitch, B, whore, C, slut, D, stupid?
C, slut.
Correct.
Yes.
The thing that I call you.
Oh, bitch.
All right, question for Chris. Speaking of when they're at the apartment, what apartment number do they live in? Was it A, 3, B, 4, C, 5, or D, 6?
6.
Correct.
6 is correct. A lucky guess.
Yes.
And after 2 rounds, Chris and I are still tied 3-3. Moving on to round 3. Here we go.
All right. See, if you paid attention, when the lawyer grabs the bag of cash, how many petals were underneath the bag? Was it A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, D, 4?
I'd say 3.
Yes,
Correct.
correct.
Okay. But I think it was only holding 2
Well, it released 1.
or 1. Yeah. But total, there were 3, I remember.
Right, yeah.
All right. Question for Chris. What is on Bobby's t-shirt during their time at the house? Was it A, a skeleton, B, a ghost, C, a pumpkin, or D, a witch?
A skeleton.
Correct.
Skeleton is correct.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that one.
And after 3 rounds, Chris and I are still tied 6-6. Moving on to round number 4. Here we go.
Dun, dun, dun. Question for you. When Dennis poses as the power guy, how many houses does he say have no power? Is it A, 5,671, B, 5,572, C, 5,570, D, 5,467?
D.
The 5,467?
Right.
Wrong.
Sorry, that's the wrong answer.
Do you guess?
No, but I'm also wondering if that's correct. I remember him. All right.
5,570.
5,570. All right. All right. Question for Chris. What type of glass does Dennis say it is and cannot be shattered? Was it A, ectobar glass, B, frosted glass, C, glass block, or D, fused quartz?
Fused quartz?
That is wrong. The correct answer is ectobar glass.
Oh, okay.
After 4 rounds, Chris and I are still tied 6-6. Moving on to the final round.
Oh. How old was Cyrus when he supposedly died? Was it A, 54, B, 55, C, 56, D, 57.
Let's say 56.
I'm sorry.
57. It's in the
wrong
newspaper.
All right. That means we're moving on to the final question. If Chris gets this correct, he wins.
Oh,
Here we go. What century does Kalina say the acronym was written? Was it A, 15th, B, 16th, C, 17th, or D, 18th? What century?
15th?
15th is correct.
Correctamundo.
Yay! I win on a guess.
Lucky guess, lucky guess.
It seemed about the right century, spells and whatnot.
Now here's a bonus question for you, and this question might be a little tricky. Who ended up being the 13th ghost?
Cyrus.
Nope.
No. Wait.
Think about it. Who actually ends up being the 13th ghost?
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Because you never see Cyrus after he's dead. You think he's a ghost, and he's not. You never see him after he dies. Same with the girl that was working for him.
Maggie.
No,
I'm sorry.
Kalina.
Right. Squished
And
against
then, right. And then Arthur was supposed to be the 13th ghost, but he doesn't die. So technically, Dennis was the 13th ghost because you see him after he dies. And congratulations to Chris for being this week's winner of Pop Quiz Hotshot. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to the Crosscut channel and stay up to date for future episodes.
Thank you, everyone, for watching and or listening. Cut print, moving on.
Really? River Phoenix?
Oh, come on.